That'll be my belt one day. I'm gonna do it. Yesterday, I was actually supposed to be going to a wrestling match, actually. I was supposed to check out the first all-female, all-Canadian wrestling event. That was going to be like some big title match going on. It was going to be a very nice card. A lot of people that I recognized in there, actually. But then that actually got canceled for now. I think it's actually just being delayed. There was a bit of change of leadership in the Nation Extreme Wrestling community, or not community, the company. I don't know. I don't know the term enough. I gotta have one of my friends on to explain it a lot better. But pretty much, at the last the last show I was at from Nation Extreme Wrestling, there was the retirement announcement of the person running it, and I am drawing a blank because I haven't smoked enough weed. But the co-founder at the time had retired from wrestling. Rob, I forget his name. I should really know more about this since I'm talking about it. Rob had decided to retire from Nation Extreme Wrestling, and he's actually a media or a radio host right now in the city I live in, Vancouver, which is pretty poggers. Anyways, there was the wrestling match that I was supposed to go to last night that didn't end up happening, and just recently, as of 2 days ago, on this spooky Friday the 13th in October, the new co-founder, Chris Perry here, had sent out a tweet on Nation Extreme Wrestling's official Twitter. I haven't fully read through the thing, but I wanted to save that for talking about on stream. So, in this fashion, we are going to go over what he has to say about the going forward of Nation Extreme Wrestling. Something that I'm kind of getting myself more interested in. Going to be looking at aspects or avenues to get my own foot in the door, so to speak. Anyways, tap this thing on. Oh, hey everyone, new co-founder Chris Perry here. Lots of folks asking what's going on with the promotion, and I'm never one to be quiet for long, so before folks fall into cynicism and regret, let me lay out the plan a bit for you. Thread. I would have used the emoji. Right off the bat, I like this guy. He curses. I fucking love NEW. When Rob and I started the thing, the scene had been through a lot. Then COVID happened, and so our first show was almost more a chance to throw a party than the beginning of a business model. NEW 1 was the most fun I had in literally years. It sold so quickly that not putting another show was ridiculous. So we did the Vancouver Convention Center for NEW 2, and it was, again, a big seller and an even better show. So much goodness, so much love, but a lot of flying by the seat of our pants, and Rob working 24/7. At this point, we asked ourselves, what should NEW be? After back-to-back sellouts and insanely great shows, we dared to think big. Could we do the Commodore, which is a venue in Vancouver? Pretty fancy here. Would they even have us? The answer was yes, and hell yes. So we grabbed it and ran. We did nightclubs and ballparks. I was actually at the ballpark show. Whenever a new cool location became available, we grabbed it and steamrolled to showtime. Sometimes that didn't work out. There's a lot to do in putting on a show, let alone one where we try to keep standards of everything as high as possible. Mostly, though, it all ruled. In business, sometimes you find yourself at the end of a bridge that hasn't been built yet with a hammer and a plank in hand. A guy like Rob, who is on the phone all day, will find opportunities where others wouldn't look. Our viewpoint was always, sounds cool, let's try it. The downside of that is when there's another show in a few weeks because a venue opened up last minute, you're too busy getting that show going to stop, recalibrate, reformulate, and ask what it is you are, what you want to be, where you should be going, and what people want. Oh my, what's all this? Also them notifications. I am talking about Nation Extreme Wrestling, a smaller wrestling promotion in my local area that I've kind of taken a personal interest in. So this is basically like a little segment for me, kind of. Case in point, putting on a cross-country promotion, all women show on the same day as an all-ages show with 3 weeks to make it happen, during a management transition, and with other shows in town the same day, with insurance and venue issues. Sorry about that one. I forgive you, and I obviously speak on behalf of all wrestling fans because I am totally not a tourist and newbie. It's no secret to anyone who knows Rob that he puts 140% of his chest or of his heart and soul into everything he does. A few decades riding the bus in the minor leagues, doing 3 jobs without staff, will forge that instinct in a guy. It made Rob the perfect partner to build a real brand. It took more out of him than the fun of shows could ever put back. When you saw YouTube videos going out at 2 a.m., that's because he was still in the office finishing them. If he was short with you in conversation at a show, it's because he needed to be in 5 places. Rob told me, this is my last show, before 8 different shows over the last 18 months. But as the dust of that show would be settling and the applause died down to a low roar, he'd get an idea, or a new venue, and give it one more shot, and another, and another. He was the brand. This last few months, he faced some health issues that weren't caused by the shows, but certainly weren't helped by them. At the same time, media opportunities were opening up to him in ways that a guy with few decades of broadcast experience shouldn't and couldn't pass up. So we locked in the handover. Rob has now moved on, and I'll never be ungrateful for what he built. Not helped build, but built proper. He was emphatic we raised the scene. He was emphatic we raised the scene. That we paid people more than they were used to. That we put equal effort into women's wrestling as men's. You can't do a show without the wrestlers, obviously, but doing an NEW show without Phi was insane. His fingerprints were on every corner of it. You know what? I'll just do that myself, is a line you'd hear over and over, but that's not sustainable. So now he gets to sleep in. Which leaves me figuring out the way forward. I have a few businesses to run, so I can't be Phi 2.0. Honestly, nobody can and nobody should. So my plan is to reinvent Phi in the aggregate, like the Oakland A's trying to replace Giambi. To that end, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm going to butcher it. Connection to the chat is borked? Probably. Look, Bilal has joined the team. Oh. Look knows everyone in the scene, has been around a long time, and has a book of ideas and plans and storylines and a bucket of energy. But I don't want Look to grind himself out, so I've pumped the brakes. Now is a time to step back and plan, not charge forward with spinning plates. So that's what we're doing. I've quietly met with a lot of people in the scene who I trust and respect and would love to engage with in an ongoing way to discuss what NEW should be, where it fits, how it can stay unique, what the scene is missing, and what crazy plans make sense. To be clear, I'm an ideas guy, and those ideas are start at the "this is bonkers but" level and work their way down to a place where hopefully they can be enacted and succeed. Here's what I insist on NEW being, or what else we pack in. 1. High quality. The wrestlers deserve a platform to show the world what they can do. We've added a Roku app in recent weeks. Our new video editor is A triple plus. No venue beats the Commodore, but we can do more. No, wait, it's that fundraiser thingy? I'm confused. What? Tibbs, you're confusing me. But yes, in this one, I did want to make the note that I can't remember the wrestlers off the top of my head, but there have been some wrestlers that like started in NEW or started even smaller promotions and worked their way up through NEW, even onto like if I'm not mistaken, there's at least one or two in the WWE after wrestling in NEW. The donation goals? Oh, yeah, that's something with oh, connection timed out. I gotta re-sign into what's it? I forgot that was there. My bad. And now I forgot my point. But oh, the donation thing was a donathon I've been doing with Hayami, but due to unforeseen circumstances, we've had to delay that a bit. Sooner or later, we will get back to it. It's a lot of fun, and I'm going to make her watch a very funny video, I hope. Or at least it'll be fun for you guys to enjoy. Anyways. Number 2. Shows being more sustainable and predictable. NEW needs a regular home. We're working on some things on that front, but regularity means forward planning. So we're working on 2024 right now rather than October, November, and December. Commodore in January is locked in. Ooh, I'm actually really glad to hear that one. Number 3, storylines. I've heard of the gripes on this front for a while. Certainly we've had some good ones, but they're hard to maintain over irregular calendar dates. So schedule predictability and regularity will allow us to lay those stories out. And for those who are unaware, there's usually some kind of background story going around with the different wrestlers to help play into the, kayfabe. I'm totally using that one right. Number 4, cooperation. There's a lot of promotions in town right now and a ton of shows. For me, the multi-promotion rumble we did at Luca was my favorite. I want Commodore shows to be about the whole city, not just us. Other promotions, other belts, more variety, a pay-per-view for the scene. Number 5, creative freedom. NEW has always done this pretty well, and we don't tell wrestlers how we want their matches to go. We let them show themselves at their best, and I think that's important. Wrestler-driven creativity beats me telling people what's what. Personally, I kind of agree with that. I kind of like that idea where you just let's be real. Wrestlers are actors to an extent. They're putting on a character, they're putting on a show, It just happens to be like a combat show, which is what I like. And, you know, a lot of people can come up with a lot of crazy ideas. I've seen somebody with a cursed hand. That was pretty funny. Like, they were a really friendly person, but then this darkened hand that they had was like super evil and like being mean. That was a fun show. Number 6, locals rule. We fly in a lot of stars, and though that's great to see Suzuki's and Ito's up close, sometimes we're guilty of playing fantasy wrestling promoter and loading up the out-of-towners. I'm hearing less fly-ins, but bigger fly-ins, which I can get with. And if you want to fly somebody in, bring in Kid Bandit. I want to see them wrestle again. Number 7, bring up the dojo. Put simply, there wouldn't be a wrestling scene in the city without Lionsgate Dojo. There'd be no NEW, no Boom, no WrestleCore, no All-Star, no Dusk. That group hasn't just given us a roster of local stars, but the next stars after them and a new line behind that. Fun fact, I am on the list for tryouts for when they do their next tryouts. So that's a thing that might be in the future. Who knows? You made me think about that WWE clip where the guy who had that snake glove thing and his opponents were snake charming. I haven't seen that clip. If you can send it to me, that'd be great. I know, it's an epic. Deal with it. First guy to drop the "I ain't reading all that, I'm sorry that happened to you," or "happy whatever" meme is blocked. Well, I'm glad we're oomphies, because I actually took the time to read it out. Lastly, I just fucking love wrestling in this city. NEW will go a little quiet for a bit while we put the finishing touches on what's new with NEW. And when we kick things back in, it'll be under a defined long-term plan with set goals and a bigger crew and a dedicated home base and Sebastian Wolf merch and beer and fly-ins for Jackie. It's funny, first match I saw of Jackie Lee was him wrestling against Kid Bandit. That was a good time. In the meantime, there are a lot of local shows out there. And here they've linked WrestleCore, Boom, Dusk, ASW Canada, Thrash Wrestling, 365 Promotion, Glam Slam, and I don't know what VIP stands for. Oh, VIP Wrestling Pro. I'm so smart. There are more, but that'll do you for a bit. And by the way, these are all in Vancouver. My city. Represent. Every one of them brings something unique. Tell them we sent you. Oh, don't worry. I'll tell them. Oh, just one more thing. We're striking a new belt. Locals only. The Intercity Championship. BC based or get the fuck out. That'll be my belt one day. I'm gonna do it. But yeah, no, this is a pretty interesting little promotion. It's one of the bigger indie promotions that I'm aware of anyways, at least in Canada. But yeah, I'm dipping my toes into the wrestling world, hopefully. I'm at least checking out shows. They've been pretty fun to get along in. I've actually called out to some wrestlers and had them break character for like half a second because I made them laugh. And that's just the fun of it. You're just going out, you're having a fun time. It's punching people, it's grabbing people, it's throwing people around. Sometimes there's thumbtacks, sometimes there's Lego. I've seen a dude get slammed through a ladder, like in person. I've also seen somebody literally jump from a ladder, or like jump from the ring, use the ladder, and then slam onto like 3 people. Fun fact, that was Jackie Lee, and I was like literally 5 feet away from the impact zone. So I don't know. If you're into like wrestling stuff, check out Nation Extreme Wrestling. They have plenty of videos, I think. I think they have a YouTube. Let me double check that. They should. Oh, they have a wrestling, or they have a website. Oh, by the way, they're also like super duper queer friendly, so that's pretty poggers. They've also done a fair bit of intergender matches. I like seeing them more. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe for more content, and if you want to join the community, feel free to check out the Discord. I love to voice chat in there, so if you want to ever talk, I'm usually available. Well, in the afternoons.